Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the big ideas from James Clear's incredible bestseller, Atomic Habits. We're going to look at how the absolute smallest changes in your life can lead to some truly remarkable results. It's all about how tiny habits create a huge impact.
So let's be real. We've all been there, right? You set a big, ambitious goal, you're super motivated for a few days, maybe a week, and then, poof, it's gone. You fall short and you're left wondering why all that effort just didn't seem to stick. It's incredibly frustrating.
And this quote gets to a huge idea in the book. We totally misunderstand how change actually happens. We're always looking for that one big breakthrough moment, that 101st hit that shatters the rock. But the real power isn't in that final blow. Nope, it's in the accumulation of all those small, consistent taps that came before it.
All right, so let's get into the core principle of the whole book, this surprising, almost magical power that comes from making tiny 1% improvements.
Okay, for nearly 100 years, professional cycling in Great Britain was, well, to put it politely, a bit of a joke. I mean, they had only one single Olympic gold medal since 1908 and had never, not once, won the Tour de France. They were completely unremarkable.
But then, in 2003, this new performance director, a guy named Dave Brailsford, came in with a completely new philosophy. He called it the aggregation of marginal gains. The idea was actually pretty simple, but it was radical. What if you improved every single thing you do by just 1%? The theory was those little gains would compound into something massive.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because they took this idea to some wild places. They weren't just focused on the bike or the rider's diet. No, they improved hundreds of tiny overlooked details that nobody else was even thinking about, from finding the perfect pillow to, get this, teaching riders how to wash their hands properly to avoid getting sick.
So, did it work? Oh yeah, it worked. That number you see, 178, that's how many world championships British cyclists won in the 10 years between 2007 and 2017. They went from total mediocrity to absolutely dominating the Olympics and the Tour de France. This wasn't a fluke. It was the system of tiny gains in action. In this incredible story, it reveals this really crucial mindset shift that applies to every single one of us, whether you're an athlete or not.
I mean, think about it for a second. Having a goal isn't what separates the winners from the losers. Every team in the league wants to win the championship. Every person applying for the job wants to get it. The goal itself isn't the thing that makes the difference.
The key difference, the book argues, is focusing on your system, that collection of daily habits and routines. The goal is your destination, sure, but the system, that's the road you actually travel on to get there. And if you just focus on building a better road, the destination kind of takes care of itself. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Your ambitions can be sky high, but at the end of the day, it's your daily habits, your system, that's going to determine where you end up. A great system can carry you to success, but a bad one will sink even the best intentions.
Okay, so if systems are the key, how in the world do you actually build a better one? Well, Clear gives us a really simple, super practical framework for doing just that.
He calls them the 4 laws. Think of them like levers you can pull to build good habits. You make the cue obvious, the craving attractive, the action easy, and the reward satisfying. And if you want to break a bad habit, you just flip them. Make it invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. Let's see that first law in action.
So to see how Make It Obvious works in the real world, let's just look at a super simple redesign of a hospital cafeteria.
So the researchers, they didn't say a single word to anyone. No posters, no lectures on health, nothing. All they did was make water more obvious by putting it in a bunch more refrigerators around the cafeteria. And look at the results. Water sales shot up by over 25%, and soda sales dropped. They just changed the environment, and the behavior followed, automatically.
But here's where things get really deep. This whole framework, it's not just about the things you do. The real, lasting power of Atomic Habits is about who you become.
The book tells this great story about a man who, after trying for years and years, finally managed to stop biting his nails. And at first, he was just using pure brute force willpower to make himself stop.
But the habit only became permanent. It only really stuck after he did something completely unexpected. He went and got his first manicure. He started to see his nails looking nice, and he actually started to feel proud of them. He began to see himself as someone who takes care of their hands.
In this right here, this is the deepest level of change. The goal isn't just to read a book, it's to become a reader. It's not just about running a marathon, it's about becoming a runner. See, every single action you take is like casting a vote for the type of person you want to become.
So that's really the big question to leave you with. What is one small, 1% action you can take today that starts casting a vote for the person you really want to be? Because that tiny habit, when you do it consistently, that's the starting point for building a whole new powerful identity.